control on your part?
Not sure about walking over water quite yet.
That's good stuff. That is, you know what? That's training in itself. Just a little bit of that, even though it's not anything for him that will be life-threatening. But when you get on his back and do that, it'll be a different story. So, yeah.
Good boy.
All right. Now, whenever you want, at some point, can you stop him and then go ahead and run at him and have him stand there like you were doing before?
Run
good
ahead.
stop.
Stop that. Good boy.
Good job. Good correction. That's a very good correction.
Good boy. Good boy.
Okay, good. You see how he started to step away from you a little bit? His head came up, and he started to shift backwards in a way like he was going to swing around and take off. So we need a little bit more work on that. That's okay. We're getting there. You've done a tremendous amount of work with him. The second time now, it might change. He might just stand right there.
Good boy.
All right. Yeah, and I just saw the lady just noticed that we made the round pen bigger, and kind of my pet peeve, but it's okay. It's a round corral. A pen is for pigs. And really we didn't have this change because of anything that I had requested. That would have come on a little later. They had Pony Club the other day. I needed a little bit larger corral, but we would get to this larger corral in the meantime a little bit later. It's nice. I have two corrals. I have a small one attached to a larger one, so I've got the ability to change and move as I want, and so that's why we got a little bit bigger corral. When Taryn gets ready to step up on him and ride him for the first couple of times, oh, good. That's a much better reaction. His head is still up a little bit. He's still aware. Still like, not quite comfortable with this, but the corral change alone can cause this change in his behavior, just because everything's a little different.
Good boy.
I see. It says round curl. We'll remember. Okay. So this is really good. It's a change. Again, anytime you change the entire demeanor and emotional state of this horse. So we change more and more things in order to make this horse more and more solid for what we want to do. Now he was standing there, did pretty good that last time. And really, I've got the same struggle with a horse that I'm working with right now. He's very shy, and this guy is like 15.3. He is a big boy. He is where he's not quite trustworthy or trusting me yet, but we started running and doing exactly what we showed you the other day and running at him, and now he's starting to drop his head and just stand there and wait for me as I run up to him. So same thing. It's really good stuff. And there's another issue here. I have another horse that I'm training right now that I did not do as much of this groundwork with him because he didn't need it. He is much more calm. He had a lot more imprinting on him. And okay, Suzanne, a round pen is not a round pen. It's a round corral. Pigs live in pens. Haha. Thanks, Celia. You can tell her that. Anyway, so this morning I went to ride him. I'm putting on about a fourth ride on him, and I kind of came at him, and you know what? He reacted to try to do just about what Mystery did here a minute ago. I'm like, okay, I have got to go back and fix that before I ride on. And I want to make sure and do that. So when you recognize that all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know what? I thought he was good with that, or we need to go back to that and just refresh a little bit, just like this. Or I need to hit this, even though I didn't think I needed to earlier. You still need to. So that's the whole point to changing up the training, going back and self-evaluating what needs to happen. So you can go ahead and do the same thing here with him on this side. And this is usually has been his better side to go with for the last little bit, right?
interesting. Well, took outside, and then we kind of had that breakthrough, and now he's been preferring me to be over here. That's what's in the last
so it's
2 weeks.
Okay, so what we're looking at then is his emotional state changing, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's anything you're doing. It's just like he's flip-flopping back and forth on what's more comfortable for him in that moment. So now we're working on developing a better and more solid reaction or a non-reaction than what we have had. So still part of that training process where we're just driving that. Oh, look, he was trying to half pass towards you a little bit. Okay, so what I see him doing is being a little bit more assertive, where he's going to teach you that as long as he comes to you, that you should be happy with that. So that might be one thing you're seeing. He's a little bit uncomfortable here too, again, because of the change in the corral and everything. Him wanting to come to you is a good thing. I mean, he's coming to you for comfort.
Okay. So I should accept that when he comes to me.
Well, no, it's just recognize that he is wanting to, and you go, okay, good, but still make him mine. Make him do what you want him to do, but you gotta just understand that his emotional state and his mental state is that he is happy to be with you and wanting to be with you. So that is a bonding that has taken place with you that you're continuing to grow on. If he's uncomfortable and he comes to you, you're the dominant member of this herd. You're the there you go. That's better. He shifted that hind end a little bit towards you. He just shifted his weight ever so much. It's not him being aggressive. It's him just being a little bit more defensive about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have this bond, but there's some confusion there for him, and that's fine. You can capitalize on confusion, and we capitalize on him being a little bit uncomfortable, because that's when he does use you as a bonding tool, because he's like, oh, if I go to her, she's going to fix it for me. So those moments are very, very powerful for you to be able to drive that trust with him even more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Do now is, if you want, yeah, see how he's just getting a little bit more defensive. It's not anything big. It's just that you want to watch him, and he's turning that head away. I would think he's letting me, if he'll come with you, that'll really be a good thing. But there we go. Okay.
Good boy.
So
yeah,
this
funny.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just funny that he's turning his butt towards me.
Yeah. He's just getting a little defensive, is it all? So we'll just do this until he just stands there.
Good boy.
That's better. He did turn his head away and neck away from you, but it's at least he didn't move his front end over. His feet stood still, but he just is moving his head. If you see from our angle there, he softened and moved towards you. We're looking at his hind end to his front, and you can see the spine alignment. He's pushing away from you when you come up. From his shoulders forward, he stuck his head away from you, but his body stayed still. And then when he finally gave, just a moment ago, then he turned his body towards you. There, he's more neutral. He's watching, and we'll see what he does when he comes to you now. See that?
Yeah.
See how his head came up as well?
Mhm.
When you started to move, his head came up, and then he turned away. Kind of all in one motion, really. But so we need to work on this a little bit more. This is really good stuff, though. I mean, it's very helpful that he is kind of uncomfortable, because this is going to drive this lesson home for a little bit more.
Good boy.
There you go. I'm glad you're getting his attention first before you move. That's perfect. Especially in this early part of this. Later on, we want to just kind of surprise him and run at him without him watching you, so that he doesn't spook from something that is a surprise. So we even build on this lesson.
Just one step and he turns away. Good boy. Good. Good boy.
one of the things you can do to help this is pull your arms out. Just kind of there, about halfway. Just kind of let them out there and droop a little bit there, and then just kind of swing them as you walk up to him. Get a little bit more animation, more movement. There you go.
Like
yeah, see how that made him move off a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So, or swing him forward, like when you're walking, just animate that like a, there you go.
Oh, you
see
didn't
how
like
that
that?
grinds him? Yeah. So he needs to get over that.
Oh. Yes, he does not like that.
So anything that you can do like that. He was doing really well the other day with the sack with you going at him.
Yeah.
Now again, if I recall, that was a fairly warm day. He was a little bit lethargic. Yeah, a little bit lethargic compared to today. You got cool, wet weather. Weather is a huge factor in how they behave.
He was even, when I got him out of his stall, he was...
Yeah.
He doesn't usually do that in his stall. He never
That's
does.
what he said. Yeah, he'll usually come right to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
So let's work this. Let's get at least one good one out of him. If we can just get him to stand there nice and still for one, you can build on that some more. Those are really good lessons. And again, this is groundwork that is so important that if you skip it, that's much better. I would accept that, and we'll move on, but then we'll try to get him to go even more calm as you work on him. If you can get to him this week. So
okay.
Let's go ahead and I know your ground is fairly wet there. I don't want to do this too bad, but let's skip the sacking for the moment. We're going to come to it, but I want to see how he acts when you just throw the saddle up on his back. Let's stack him with the saddle a little. There you go. There he comes with you.
Good boy.
Very good. Very good.
Good boy. Hey, buddy. So sensitive.
And with our new website, I got to tell you, Taryn, with our new Denroven website, I went ahead and changed my name on here.
Oh, okay.
Now, so people know who the heck I am. I'm now Denroven Brandon. So
there you go. You're official.
I'm official.
Ooh. So now we have a rigged saddle. It might be more spooky for him.
That's good. That's good stuff. And it's been how many days since you've done this?
What was that, Tuesday?
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 days.
Okay. So this is good. So I see he did move a little bit off, and it was kind of like, I don't know about this. And this is why I wanted to do this, just see what he'll do without being sacked. And then go ahead and, just give him another shot up there. Yeah.
It fits him well, doesn't it?
And as you know, it's so important for them to just stand right now. See how his feet are? Don't pull that foot forward. Make sure that he's standing, because he can very easily pivot around that leg. There you go. There you go. Now, if you just make him stand, that hind leg is wanting to relax. That's good. Read his body language. See how that leg towards you, he's got it forward just ever so much. And what that means is he can use that leg to push off and spin away from you and run.
Okay,
Do you see if they put that leg forward, it doesn't necessarily mean they're relaxing. It means that they're positioning that hind leg so that they can get away from you if they need to. So it can mean both. It can mean, see the leg that's closest to you on the hind?
Yeah.
See how it's slightly forward?
Uh-huh.
And it's a little bit more relaxed. You've got some weight off of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the other one, it's slightly, you got more weight on the right hind.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so he can use that leg and he can push off at that and take off if he feels threatened. See, like that. See how he started to put a little weight on it? There. Now you're straight up. We're good. Now's the time. Now's the time. And you don't have to correct that. There. Much better. See, he didn't move off.
Boy.
Very good. You see why we want to set those feet up like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And paying attention to that body language is so important because you can stop any behavior changes before they ever happen. Just by watching where those feet are at. If we control his feet, we control the rest of his body. If we control his mind, we can control his feet. Very good. And this is a critical part of that when they're a little bit nervous like this. If you throw that up there and then bang them in the hip and spook them, then it's like, oh, we've just reinforced that it's okay to move off. So this is a really critical portion to doing this kind of work.
Good boy.
There you go.
Good boy.
There, nice.
There.
Good. Now, one thing that you did inadvertently is you pulled on his lead rope just ever so much. You picked it up enough that he could feel it. When you put that in there, you get a little bit of tension. So give yourself another 6-8 inches of lead line there for him so that he doesn't pull his nose. There you go. And it's a tricky spot because you give him too much, he can move off. If you don't have enough, then you move him.
Good boy. Good
there, is that
boy.
better?
Much better.
Oh, yeah.
Good boy.
That chewing, that's excellent.
He gets so tense right at the base of his neck.
Yes, that's right. Well, and that neck comes up, you bet. Very good. He didn't move when you took it off. He's not moving when you put it on. That's excellent. Good job. Now, as you're rubbing him, there you go. You can read my mind.
Almost
It's not tough. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy to read.
Good boy.
There you go.
And that's a
Very
good lift. Good boy.
Very good. Awesome. You even put a little knee into that to throw it up. That's perfect. Really animated. That stroke kind of come over the other side and hit him a little bit. Didn't do anything. That's perfect. Excellent job. There you go. Time to go to the other side. When it works on that side, don't overdo it because you still got to learn on the other side of that brain.
Good boy. Awesome. Good
Very
boy.
good. Very good. And how many times it takes to do this is really dependent on the horse and you and everything. I mean, you've met Lisa, my wife, and I got a horse for her, a mare, that as a brood mare, and planned on her being a brood mare. She turned out, and she did. And she was going to train her, do some work on her. Well, I had to be out of town, and we at the point where we were just like this, just saddling her. And Lisa called me, or I talked to her at night, and she said, I can't get her to stand still. She won't let me put that saddle on. I'm like, come on. You know how spouses are. And so I kind of scolded her a little bit about it and said, you got to be better about it. And then I come home, because she started that. I had not saddled her at all. I'd done some sacking work with her, and Lisa had done most of that. And so I come home, and you know what? I ended up saddling that horse just like this over 1,000 times in one sitting. 500 times on each side. It was several hours of doing that, and she was still barely settled down. So it takes sometimes it takes time. It's just amazing how non-learning